on the throat plate, there are markings to follow along with seam allowances. Now, these markings are going to be in metric. So if you're not familiar with what the conversion from metric to inches is, you probably want to have a seam gauge. This will help you determine, for example, 5/8 of a seam allowance is the same as 15 millimeters. But if that still isn't helpful enough for you, you can purchase from your local Husqvarna Viking dealer a throat plate with inches on it. Now, another thing that you can purchase, speaking of throat plates, is a straight stitch throat plate used with a center needle position only. This is good for embroidery. You can use it for, it's great for when you're stitching a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to not use stitch number 10 in row 2, but go ahead and use a 1/4 inch foot, the standard foot with the guide. This will help greatly. Free motion quilting also use that too. So just find what lines to follow as you're working along here. And if that isn't easy enough, you can always purchase a separate seam guide that will fit into the back of your foot. And then you can actually have your fabric keep nice and even every time you go to sew. This is great if you're ever doing multiple lines of decorative stitches. You can just set that, and after you sew one row of decorative stitches, for example, then all you have to do is put this next to the row you just sewed and keep the edge of the guide on top. Now my eye is watching right here over the guide and the seam following that, and you can have exactly the same distance between every single row that you're sewing. So whatever it takes to help make your stitching most accurate, make sure that you're following the right guides.